to Relay.
We're
Thunder and lightning now too.
Thunder and lightning. That's fun.
Very, very frightening.
Hello, everyone. We're live. Shiver is about to be beset by a typhoon. And I was just going to tell Shiver that the reason that Japan gets typhoons is actually because they don't have any, like, a mass amount of firearms that people shoot at the typhoons when they get close. So the two typhoons aren't scared away by people shooting at them.
No, but we've got a shitload of snakes.
Yeah, but typhoons aren't scared of snakes. Because snakes can't
They
fly.
fucking should be.
Snakes can't
They
fly.
can. Some snakes
I know.
can actually
Well, they glide.
fly.
It's like
Yeah.
flying squid. There are some squid that can fly.
So you're not safe in the air. You're not
No.
safe on the ground. You're not
No.
safe in the water.
No.
Snakes are evil.
Spiders are worse.
I can handle spiders. I can't handle snakes. No.
Baby spiders, when they get released out of their egg sacs and they all have like lines up and they just float through the air, thousands and thousands of little tiny baby spiders flying on and then you get hit by them and then you're just covered in baby spiders.
You can smack those with a phone. You smack a snake with a phone, that's just going to piss it off.
The snake you can grab. If you grab it like right by the throat
I
like
ain't
that.
grabbing no fucking snake. Everyone's like, that snake's more afraid of you. That snake's more afraid of you than you are of it. It's like, how dare you, sir? I will never bite a fucking snake, but that snake has got a good chance of biting me.
Never eaten snake.
I'm also not fucking venomous. I'm malicious, but not venomous.
I don't know. I guess Canada doesn't really have very many like poisonous, scary snakes. I think we've got like a rattlesnake or two, but mostly we've just got like garter snakes. Like,
You know, a rattlesnake hit by. So if you decapitate it, it's got these glands on the front of its face. So even if it's decapitated, it still reacts to you for a while. Every single venomous snake in this country does that.
Yep. Snakes aren't going out without a fight. Come on, man.
You've won the fight. You've decapitated the bastard, and it's still going to get you.
That's like spiders.
New thought for power generation that's eco-friendly. We burn snakes for power.
Snakes. Spiders, though.
We can burn them both. I'm not that fussy.
Have you ever like hit a spider and it turns out it was a mother spider with a little egg sac, and then just like thousands of little baby eggs, baby spiders like explode from its corpse?
No, I've never had that. I've never had. Although I know that a lot of people say you should keep spiders in your home because they eat insects, and I'm still of the philosophy of, yeah, but that's a fucking scary spider. Like, we get wolf spiders here. I was like,
wolf spiders are great.
I take my bets with the insects.
I actually like wolf spiders because they don't make webs. They hide out in corners. They don't really do much. You know, I've actually got a spider in the other room that has been living there since we moved into this place like 5 years ago. And it's got this huge web in the window of my workshop, and it's just complete webbing, and then there's just like this hole in the middle of the webbing that it's made its house in. And I leave Fernando alone.
Hey, Sagareth.
I leave Fernando alone.
I like tarantulas.
I can't stand that.
But they're furry.
I don't like furry things.
Fluffs and fur.
Ah, it's
You
funky.
have a beard. You are a furry thing.
My beard's nice and keeps me warm. Tarantulas, it's like spikies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Relay Station. You know, a long time ago, I read a choose your own adventure book that has stuck with me for my entire life, and it was about a tornado. And in the tornado, ants and spiders got mutated together into like ant spiders that were like the size of spiders but the strength of ants, and like it was it fucked me up. It fucked me up.
Is
Hello.
there
Well,
an erotic choose your own adventure book? Because that would be fucking hilarious.
Many.
Really?
I'm sure it's been done.
That would be
Positive.
Great. That would be hilarious.
You should Google it right now. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Relay Station, a show where some weird people on the internet talk about spiders, snakes, typhoons. Once in a while, we might discuss Star Citizen. We don't know. We don't know what we're doing. You don't know what we're doing. Nobody knows what we're doing because we are unique. No, it's because we've been doing this for so bloody fucking long that we've lost our goddamn minds. But hey, how's everyone doing? How are you, Shiver? I know that you're looking up...
Choose your own erotic story, Spartacus.
Hey, Muscavian, how's it going?
Your fantasy, your rules. A girl walks into a bar.
Oh no.
To keep it Star Citizen themed. Club 42, a choose your own erotic fantasy.
Yeah, only
during the coronavirus pandemic.
Oh my.
Washing my hands gets me off. COVID-69. Thrusts of justice.
There are a couple then, Shiver.
Night Shaft.
Yeah, Muscavian, just Shiver and I today. Nakara couldn't make it, but that's okay. We have a fun-filled show completely planned for you. Everything that happens today in this show was completely scripted beforehand. We know what's coming. So, Shiver, what's coming?
In me I thrust! Oh, God! Brilliant! Karma's a sexy bitch. I'm suffering over Night Shaft.
That should actually be over on that side. Yeah. So,
oh God, this is great.
Hello. We need professional help.
Caveman lust. Oh God. Oh,
I'm sorry to all 9 of you watching us right now. I'm sorry.
Oh no, this is the best time of my life.
Oh.
There's dinosaur ones.
Oh, there's many dinosaur ones.
Choose your own adventure, erotic novel, fiction dinosaur. That's when you're getting really niche.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Relay Station. We swear we will eventually talk about Star Citizen. Just spiders and erotic dinosaurs, sort of. We were overcome with emotion. So,
I don't know about you, I went in there both hands on.
Okay, let's get a grip, a firm grip.
Yeah, we can pull this off.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's coming?
God, I don't even know.
Are we gonna what's gonna be the show's climax?
Probably something we're not allowed to say.
I got you pegged. I think he liked the sounding of that. stop.
Thank you. I can't keep up.
Stiff competition.
All right, Star Citizen. Let's
give me a mouthful of Star Citizen.
Yeah, let's dive right in and plumb the depths of Star Citizen.
Yeah, so, I'm ready to swallow this information.
You ever have one of those days when you're like, what have I done to myself? And what decisions
because
led
Eric
me
isn't
here?
I don't have to behave myself.
I know. Really? Okay, you know what? Yeah, this isn't on me. This isn't about the decisions I made. This is on Eric for not being here. So blame Nakara. Hashtag blame Nakara. Okay, let's talk about Star Citizen. There was just a metric buttload of information this week, to be honest, between the ISC and the Star Citizen Live. I did actually watch the Star Citizen Live this week. Many weeks I do skip them because time. This gave you 44 months. Star Citizen Live, honestly, fantastic this week. So, because I'm busy, I was only able to watch it while doing like my real job. So I sort of had it on and was not paying as much attention as I would have liked. But there was a lot of talk about PES, the persistent entity streaming, and what's coming in 3.18 and what's coming down the road. I honestly highly recommend watching it if you want to know what's coming in 3.18 and what we're actually getting when it comes to persistent entity streaming and what we'll be getting down the road, because it's I think it was a very needed chat that they had, because I think they I feel like they resolved some inconsistencies and some questions that we might have had, and some misunderstandings that the community had. And yeah, possible, like it's a good episode. Watch it. My key takeaways were for 3.18. Honestly, not a ton is changing. We're not getting like the meshing of servers in the layering system. It's still the server you log onto it's one shard, right? Each server is its own shard, and there's no real crosstalk between the shards. So if you log on to one shard and you drop a gun somewhere on a planet, that gun will stay on that planet, on that shard. If you then log out and log in to a different shard, that gun of yours is not on that new shard. It is on the shard that you left it on. And it doesn't get replicated over to other shards, right? So everything is...
The first instance of server meshing is instancing, which is, a good start. It's a start, and from there, that's where they can build up from.
Well, it's not the server meshing, it's the persistent entity streaming, right? So it's the entities persist essentially forever. They will persist through resets and stuff, but they're not crossing servers yet, right? So there's no server meshing, right. There's no entities being handed off to different servers. In that case,
it uses the same method as instancing in this particular example.
Yeah. So it's important.
And don't get me wrong, that it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a really good start, and it sounds like so 3.18 is going to be incredibly buggy because they have completely rewritten, they're basically replacing a large portion of the game code with this new code, right? Like it's significant significant changes. Like it's a lot. That said, it doesn't include a lot of stuff from other parts, like other areas of the game's development that can start. Like the rest of the company hasn't started using the tools that this update gives them. So the update is going to give them a lot more ability to persist things and to do interesting things, but they haven't had time to implement those things yet. They're just starting to use the tools. So it's a shift in code base, but it's not really a significant shift in how other things work. I don't know if I'm making any sense with this. I really think that people should watch the Star Citizen live. I think it's really important one to watch.
TLDR, server-side stuff is changing, so there will be a form of persistent entity streaming on one particular shard, no matter what. But the rest of the team are unable to take advantage of that during development, probably because they're going to wait to see what server meshing, when that comes in, is going to do, because there's no point building tools and shit for instancing, let's just say that, when everything is going to be on a completely different system, and they'll probably be like, well, we built it with this in mind, now let's fucking start again.
We're in an interesting time of game development where they're making foundational changes to things that have to be done before they can re-implement other things. Anyway, it's good. What were some other highlights? If anyone in chat has any highlights, if you watched it and there was anything that jumped out at you, make a mention of it. But ships was one thing. So if you spawn a ship and land it on a planet, just like the weapon example, if you then leave that server and hop onto another server, you will have to reclaim your ship because your ship won't be on that planet. It's gone. I think if you log out in your ship, it comes with you. I don't remember. I think they were talking about that, but honestly, there was a lot. Sense. There was a lot of information. And they also talk a bunch about the stuff that they want to do next. They've got, plan. They want to start fixing combat logging. They want to make sure that certain things persist when they come over. They were saying that because it's persistent entity streaming, some things might be a lot easier to implement, like armor degradation and ship degradation will persist through server shutdowns as well. There's a lot coming. It's go watch it. Just go watch it.
You briefly mentioned they want to do something about combat logging. Do you remember any details? Sorry.
No, it's okay. I remember what was it Benoit said? I think he said something, again paraphrasing, but Benoit said something along the lines of combat loggers are bastards. Which, yes. And they were sort of talking about how hard it is to deal with that in a game that has any sort of PvP. Like every game has problems with it. I don't know if they were planning it or if they were just talking about it, but talking about how when you disconnect, your ship should persist there for a bit of time, so that if you're trying to combat log, well, guess what, your ship's still there. And ways to make it so that if you combat logged and your ship is still there and then your ship gets killed, you won't respawn with all of your items, because people use combat logging so that they don't lose all of their FPS stuff, right? Yeah. They were talking about ways to combat it and acknowledging that it is incredibly difficult to combat, but that they're going to find ways. Don't remember much else. Sorry.
Okay, no.
But they hate it.
What about inside Star Citizen? I mean, you've managed to last 20 minutes without mentioning that your ship is getting some use.
I was trying to do the Star Citizen live before I went over and started talking about the Inside Star Citizen, just because Star Citizen Live.
Oh, was there more Star Citizen Live stuff that you wanted to do?
No, it was mainly that. It was mainly like they covered a lot of good stuff on persistent entity streaming, and really go watch it. If you want to know where they're going and where they're at, go watch it. Very informative. So yeah.
Do you want me to give you a segue?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, what are they doing to salvage the gameplay for the Reclaimer?
Nothing. They've decided to throw it out entirely. The Reclaimer is getting scrapped. It's a load of junk.
Yeah, that makes sense. I believe that.
All right. Let's talk about the Reclaimer. Here, I'm gonna just do this and this so I can see it better.
Detail on the hull.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. I don't want you to be showing that right now. I want you showing this. All right, here's the Reclaimer. It is the scariest looking ship in Star Citizen and the best looking ship in Star Citizen, period. They also
Were you scared
got
of
some...
Nostromo?
Not as much scared as I am of the Reclaimer. The Reclaimer is terrifying, in my opinion. Anyway, this week's Inside Star Citizen, all about salvage. And how we're gonna be able to start stripping hulls with the Vulture and the Reclaimer and hand tools. So the like remote turrets in the Reclaimer will start working for salvaging. You've got 2 remote turrets that can salvage independently of each other, and they just hoover salvage up. They were talking about how, like, the Reclaimer, you need more than one person.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I mean, I think you could technically do it as one person. You'd just be getting out of your seat a lot. And then you go down to a planet, land, and sell everything you salvaged.
I mean, that process as well. It feels very manual, especially for a ship like the Reclaimer. You know, pooping out a box, you move the poop, someone stacks the poop. I would imagine that is because this is literally the first iteration of salvage, that is going to get automated, or there's going to be stuff that you can buy module-wise that's going to help you to make these tasks.
I hope so, but I'm honestly not that sure that there will, because there's not a ton to do in the Reclaimer. I think the Vulture has like a little conveyor belt that will move the boxes along. Once you've got a salvage poop, it will like move the salvage poop out of the way. Whereas I believe the Reclaimer doesn't have that, and I don't know if it will get that eventually. I hope it will. I think it should. Or at least, like, it would be really nice if the Reclaimer had like a cargo arm, like an interior tractor that could be run from one of those remote turrets to move things. There's a lot of ways they can do it. I don't know what they're gonna do. I know that the Reclaimer isn't done because the claw doesn't even work yet, right?
Right. I mean, if they're gonna keep with the manual poop scoop method, then I hope at the very least the Reclaimer is going to have more than one poop bay. Because otherwise, you know, it is for monumental moments of time, someone's just going to be sat in your cargo hold going,
yeah,
where's the poop?
Yeah.
And that's and we don't... That's not gameplay.
Yeah, and we don't know how long it takes to scrape something and poop out. Like, there's so much we don't know because we haven't gotten our hands on it, right? Yeah. What we do know is the Reclaimer is getting at least some gameplay. We're going to have to see things like right now, you're mainly only going to be able to go and do this to pre-designated wrecks until wrecks from like player characters persist. Because right now, when you blow up a ship, the whole thing explodes and then the pieces all disappear, right? What's a reclaimer going to go salvage? It needs stuff to go salvage. But same with the vulture. And yeah, Mazer, it would probably be like soloing the mole, except I think there's even less for third and like extra reclaimer people to do right now. Because they really were like, you've got 2 people on the turrets, and then you've got 2 people in the cargo bay just moving the boxes. And I don't want to be one of those 2 people in the cargo bay moving the box. I don't know about you. There's a lot of boxes. Anyway, Reclaimer Salvage is coming. It looks glorious. I'm excited to try it. I'm going to have to get people to try it with me, because otherwise it's just going to suck.
You're going to be a busy boy.
Yeah. That said, let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the Vulture. The Vulture is a really cute little ship. I still say it's not Drake. It's an Argo ship, not a Drake ship. Oh, I think this is hand salvage, not... Anyway, we're watching this. In this, I really like this clip, actually, because they were talking about how you're fighting in a dogfight and you get, a couple hits off, you take out your enemy, but then they did some damage to your ship, so you can land, you can scrape some hull off of their ship, and then use it to patch up yours a bit. Now, you're not going to be able to patch up things like lost weapons or lost engines and stuff, but you can still patch something up, which I really like.
Enough to stop oxygen leaking out or patch a few holes so you can efficiently get out and rearm fully. Yeah. It's a nice little touch. And the fact that the patchwork will be obvious to show, that's a nice little touch, I think.
I love that it looks different, actually, because there was a lot of talk a long time ago about how like ships will get wear and tear over time, and you'll be able to see from the battles how much your ship has been used. And I think it'll be a lot harder on small little fighters like this, because they will become like, they'll just be very patched up. But I feel like on capital ships, or like on larger ships that don't like these, the battle scars are going to be really cool to look at, I think. I also want to say, I'm going to restart this animation really quick, and I want everyone to look really quickly here. There's the combo light, the Cambio light attachment, and the SRT attachment there. Now, I guess, and Shiver, you can hop in here, but I guess some people online were complaining that your ability to do this by hand and salvage and repair by hand makes things like the Vulture and the Reclaimer useless, which, just look at the little... I'm gonna play this again. I just want you to look at the size of that little... Look at the little attachment.
Isn't that kind of like saying, well, combine harvesters are fucking useless because I can go in that huge field and pick that myself by hand.
Yeah.
Totally different scales. I mean, if you want to sit there and scrape off the hull with your fucking little handgun for several days, yeah, go at it, sure. But your Vulture's going to do it in far quicker time. It's all about time and turning that profit. Yeah, like, completely different scales.
And it's like, yes, the hand tool will let you salvage a little bit and put some stuff back on your ship that's damaged, but you're not going to really be able to go out and salvage enough with a hand tool to turn a handy profit, right? And the hand tool can salvage a little bit and repair. the Reclaimer and the Vulture can't repair. They just salvage. How do you mean Niskavian for Reclaimer versus Vulture?
Reclaimer versus Vulture, which is going to be more efficient. I mean, obviously the Reclaimer is going to hands down in the end win, but right now with just 2 beams and little information else about the coverage of the beams, they might well be equal right now in this iteration. But I would hope that the Reclaimer is going to have far larger beams that can just go whoosh on the side of a large ship compared to the Vulture that's got to, do much smaller operations if you're going to do that.
I think there'll be a couple of things. One, so they both have two mining arms, but the Reclaimers can be run independently by 2 people, right? Whereas the Vultures, you one person are controlling both arms. Unfortunately, I don't think I've got the Vulture clip, which
yeah, you played it earlier for, I think, unless I'm thinking of a different clip.
Different clip. But the Reclaimer will have one that 2 people can each use one of the different salvage turrets. 2, I mean, I assume that the salvage turrets for the Reclaimer are going to be bigger. The Reclaimer can obviously hold a lot more cargo than the Vulture. Probably like several orders of magnitude more than the Vulture. But I think one of the biggest changes, the biggest benefits to a Reclaimer is unfortunately something that's not actually in yet, which is the Claw. Because one of the big things about the Claw is going to be the ability for the Reclaimer to grab onto large like objects and hold them there. Whereas the Vulture, if it's spinning in space, you're going to have to try and spin with, like, it might be, I feel like it's going to be more difficult
as well. The Vulture is an automated beam thing. It's going to be scraping off hulls. We don't know the capability or even the gameplay that's going to be associated with salvaging components or subcomponents.
Yeah.
So that would be as another thing with the Reclaimer's got going for it. It'd be like, oh, there's a wing of a Gladius. I'll scoop that up with my claw, put it in there, and I've got this team of people that can come in and they can go, oh, well, I can still use that. I can still use that, or that's repairable. I can take the subcomponents off of this, and then they can strip it down with the hand tool or something as well. So the Reclaimer's not, the Reclaimer might just be salvaging one ship, but it could also maybe, hopefully, in theory, reclaim several bits at the same time, whereas the Vulture is very much, I'm working on this section of the ship, and I can't necessarily reclaim the weaponry or anything like that, or salvage subcomponents. It's very much just a take the hull scrapings and see what I get, whereas the Reclaimer is full-bodied salvage. And maybe the Reclaimer is going to have a bay in it or something like that, where you could literally repair a subcomponent and then just whack it on your ship. Maybe.
And like, yes, Niskavian, you have to be able to validate, the running of it and however many people you have running it versus the cost. It's going to have to be balanced, but I think they'll be able to balance. There's the Vulture doing its well, you can actually tell, like, look at its beam and how much it's grabbing at a time, and then I think we'll see the Reclaimer doing it in a second. But
is that
here's the Reclaimer. Yeah. And here's the Reclaimer about to do the same ship. I mean, I feel like the Reclaimer has much wider beams. But anyway, we'll have to see once it's in game. But the Reclaimer does also have
its first iteration. Don't expect. No one should be expecting, oh, is this it? Is this what we've waited for salvage for? No, this is the start of salvage.
It's like,
that Reclaimer is going to do a lot more than just sneak.
Remember mining tier 0, right? And look at Look at mining when we first got mining, and there were like 3 different rocks to mine, and just one way to do it. And now there's a million different mining attachments and hand gadgets to do things, and like, yeah, there's a lot more coming. I honestly think that this is, yeah, and the claw is going to help the reclaimer too. I really think that this is a patchwork implementation for the reclaimer, just because the reclaimer's there, right? Like, they didn't have to do very much to get the reclaimer up and running at this level, this tier 0 level of salvage, because all they needed was the beams, which they already have from the vulture. They need the beam, and they need the cargo box to poop out. No, it poots. It poots it out. It's not a pooping, it's a pooting. It poots out the cargo box. Yeah, it's a special weapon. Hey, it's a beam weapon. We have beam weapons. They can do beam weapons, guys.
Didn't we have that in theory with the tractor beam?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, now that I think about it, that's the perfect example of it, of just saying, this is probably built on the same foundational tech that was used in the tractor beam, and now they're just like, well, why don't we just set tractor to strip?
Yep. So, Niskavian, I have so many questions actually about salvage and combat salvaging, and I feel like what's that event where everyone tries and goes and gets their drugs?
Oh, looks.
Jumptown. I feel like I want an event like Jumptown, and I don't want to be involved in Jumptown at all. But when someone lands, they're like, I don't know, their redeemer or something, like, and goes, I want to find someone who's landed their ship, I don't care where it is, and turned off their ship, and then I want to go deface it by salvaging part of its hull. And I want to draw I want to draw penises on people's hulls with the salvage gun, because I'm 12. I'm sorry. I'm 12.
I'm down for that.
Anyway, it's really interesting. I can't wait to actually see this in game. It's going to be nice to see it. It's going to be really nice to see it on the vulture and on the hand gun, because I think those are a lot more done. The reclaimer, and the Starfarer, I believe, are 2 ships that changed how CIG released ships, because both the Reclaimer and the Starfarer were released like 3 or 4 years before they had any gameplay associated with them, and it sucked. And CIG, they changed their way of doing things, where if the ship doesn't have direct gameplay associated to it in the game, it doesn't make it into the game, right? The ships come with the gameplay. So for the Reclaimer, it's just the game's finally catching up to a little bit, and it's got a ways to go. Yeah, I forgot about that, actually, Niskavian. We've come a long way. Sargarath. Oh wait, something's burning. I'll wait until Sargarath is back. Yeah. I'm really excited to take the Reclaimer out and try and salvage stuff, even if I have to do it alone. Even if I do it for 5 minutes and get fed up and give up. I don't think I'm ever going to actually use my Reclaimer in game, honestly. It's too big, and I don't like people. Like when it launched, I don't see myself going out with a team of 4 people just to salvage stuff. I really don't. I could see myself doing it solo in a vulture. I can't see myself doing it in reclaimer with people, but it is, I think, my favorite ship in the whole game. Am I crazy? Maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Oh crap! You're right, Escavian. I completely actually forgot about the drones because the reclaimer has little drones that can come out and help with salvaging too. We don't even know how they help with salvaging, right? We don't know what this.
A slew of possibilities. Absolute slew of possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think that the vulture has a drone because of that little winged thingy on the back, but
I do like the idea of just, releasing 4 or 5 drones and they're hovering around all these little bits. Just maybe they've got a really tiny cargo capacity, but it's just a pain in the ass for you in this reclaimer to reclaim these tiny little bits. So that's where the drones go out, swarm it, come back, unload, back. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Or maybe they're out there with tractor beams and they're bringing in bits with components on for the team to disassemble. Who knows?
I feel like that would actually be really fun with the drones if like you controlled the drones and sent the drones out and the drones like cut components off and brought components back to be processed. That would be a really cool use. And like you pilot them from the little drone ship in the reclaimer. Something like that, right? But there's so much that they can do. I'm really sad we don't get design documents anymore. Like the original mining design document was great. It was a great thing to read through and see like these are all their plans for the future of mining. And I get why they don't do it anymore. I honestly do. It's plans change, right? But yeah.
It is nice to see the reclaimer though actually finally reclaiming.
Yep. Agreed.
Even in this very basic first look at it, it's nice to see it in its infancy.
Yeah. It'll be good to hop in and start flying it. I'm
You know what else this means?
What's that?
That they must have moved on from a fair few things in Squadron to be able to start looking at things that are probably not in Squadron.
I mean, yes and no. Because I think salvage is very closely tied to repair. Right? You're repairing with the material you get from salvage. I think the two systems are very closely tied together. And I absolutely expect repair to be in Squadron. Actually, you know what? I would honestly expect salvage to possibly be in Squadron as well, in the same situation as this other GIF, which I'll switch to because why not? But the whole you shoot down an enemy, you need to repair your ship. I could see that happening in Squadron. Like you need to repair your ship before you can get back to base or something. I don't know if it will, but I don't know. We'll see. Do you think like
that joke only works in text?
We know that they added planets and planet segments to Squadron, right? That's one of the things that delayed Squadron. Do you imagine there might be like you are crash landed on a planet?
Honestly, now you said it, yeah, it does make sense, doesn't it?
It does.
A little disappointing, but yeah, it does. I can see that
everything.
Being, a level or two, you're stranded on some desolate planet. Your Gladius has got a massive hole in the wing, and you've got to duct tape it back together. So you need to go and gather materials from whatever ships are left by killing the remnants of fucking Vandals, saying, you know, welcome to shit planet 4. Punch him out.
Welcome to Terra. Yeah. I mean, I could see that happening. I know at some point we'll start getting stuff that is not directly related to Squadron, but I'm just happy.
Server meshing is not directly related to Squadron.
True, it's not. Neither is persistent entity streaming, right? They could do everything single player without any of it. So
yeah, but then in fairness as well, the networking team have never really had to do much for Squadron.
Mm-hmm. It's true. There was something else I was going to say. I don't know if Sargareth is back or if Sargareth's house has burned down, but did we already discuss or figure out or that? Did we discuss or figure out why the Vulture isn't on sale right now? Does CIG hate money or something? I feel like well, it will go back on sale. It and the Reclaimer will go on sale when 3.18 comes out, when mining is in game.
Yeah.
Right? It won't go on sale before then. Well, actually, it might for CitizenCon.
Sale?
No, next month is CitizenCon.
Or is it CitizenCon first?
CitizenCon first. I think it's CitizenCon, then IAE, then the anniversary sale? Or is it CitizenCon, then the anniversary, then IAE?
All I know is they don't celebrate my birthday.
Or mine. They do nothing in April.
Bastards.
Right? It is important to note, though, that there are 3 major sales coming up. You know that with the addition of the new mechanic of salvage, the Vulture and the Reclaimer will go on sale again when 3.18 launches, I assume.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Sargareth. They released this video, but then people are going to get it now, and they'll be like, well, this doesn't do anything. Hype it all down!
Yeah. Yeah, I get they should make money off this, but I think they actually get more hype by holding it back until it's in game, right? Until people on Twitch can show off this being done, and people are like, how do I get this right now? And they're like, well, you get this ship. It needs to come hand in hand with the mechanics, because thinking about it, like, even some of their announcements of ships need to hold off until they have mechanics. Like, we need another salvage ship. There's a giant one and a tiny one, right? But like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do. I hope they make a ton of money because, well, according to Nakara,
dedicated small science ships either.
There's not. There's the Reliant Tana, isn't there? I think one of the Reliant variants is a science.
Isn't that more exploration, really, than dedicated to science? Although I suppose how are you going to do a dedicated science ship as well?
Well, we don't even know what science is going to entail yet, right?
Periodic tables.
What? There's so much on the Endeavor, for example, that we have no idea. We actually don't know how almost anything on the Endeavor will work. Everything about the Endeavor, right? The science, the farming, the weapon modification, the galaxy like exploration, like the radio telescope on there, right? Like every single part of the Endeavor, we know nothing about.
It is humongous as well for a ship. And is that bastard going to be able to dock? Probably not. Then how are they going to handle it being in space 24/7? All sorts of questions that need to be asked on that. And I love the idea that an Endeavor is basically a mobile base that is
Well,
24/7 has to have someone on it.
Well, and keep in mind, like, that thing is, it has to grow significantly, right? Um, I don't have the, it's like the size of an Idris right now. But the entire front of that ship essentially detaches and is a, what is it, the Misk Odyssey, right? Like the entire front of the Endeavor detaches into a Misk Odyssey, basically. And the back half is a space station. It's going to get bigger. It's going to be insane. And we don't know how any single part of any of its gameplay is going to work. We don't know farming. We don't know exploration, really. We don't know the searching. We don't know the Atom Smash. Like, we don't know anything. And it's gonna
Atom
be
Smasher.
years.
I hate that guy.
Who?
Oh, someone hasn't watched Edge Runner.
I haven't. No. Look, Cass and I are finally making our way through Lower Decks.
Okay, that's forgivable.
We made it to season 2, episode 1. We watched that tonight. It's really good.
It's all right, isn't it? You know who writes that? Or one of the writers. Same guy who writes Rick and Morty.
It's much better than Rick and Morty. It's better.
Thank you, Saga. But yeah, on a completely unrelated note, Edge Runners was so fucking good that I have been sat here going, I might just skip over a load of other games and go straight to playing Cyberpunk TTRPG. I've been sat here reading the fucking rule book for it and downloading it because it's the newest one. Cyberpunk Red only came out in 2020, and they're still releasing free DLC for the TTRPG, which is really fucking cool. And I'm like, I kind of want this. But the downside is Cyberpunk Red isn't set in 2077. And
yeah, but
I do want 2077.
Cyberpunk is sort of like in right now.
So?
Oh. Run a game to get people hooked.
It does seem a little grindy, because considering there is a role to get yourself ready to look good for the day ahead.
What's wrong with that? That's great.
I like my
I roll a 20 on that. I roll a 20 on that every morning.
I don't even know what sided dice are actually Cyberpunk yet. Check.
I roll a 20 on that by putting on a pink sweater. Real men wear pink. All right.
I know you want us.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna launch the game and hop into it because we've reached the end of the stuff to show off. So I don't know. Should I? You know what?
Ask us questions about TTRPGs.
Sure, do it.
What's your favorite kind of dice, Eris?
My favorite kind of dice? It's a good question. I mean, I like D20. D20 is fun, but I like a D4.
Nobody likes D4s.
Look, I hate
D20.
D8. I love D20s. They're a classic. I hate D8, 8, 10, and 12 because I can never tell the difference between them. I also hate the...
Well, you see, D10s go up to 10. D12s go up to 12. That's how you tell the difference.
At a glance, if all three of them are sitting on a 1, I gotta, look really closely to figure it out.
Then that's a really bad roll and you probably failed it.
Probably. I fail most of my rolls. No, it is. It's the Caltrip. I like the D4 because I don't know. I've spent every time I break one out, I'm amazed that this thing works numerically. It just, I find them such an interesting shape of dice. I don't know. All right, I'm in Klesher. Okay, can I get out of Klesher? Did I do my time?
You know the one dice that no one ever says they like?
What's that?
Apart from the D4, D100s. No one likes D100s.
Well, D100s is just a D10.
No. No. I think you'll find that it is, in fact, 10 times more than a D10.
Oh, like the actual, like, D100.
Yeah, the actual die.
Those are mines. How do I get out of here? Is it inmate processing?
I mean, in fairness, when you roll a D100, you do have to ask NASA to point a telescope from orbit to tell you what number you rolled.
What you rolled? Yeah.
Oh, crystal-shaped D4s. That's interesting. I don't know what they are, but I saw like two D4s glued together. I don't know what side die that is, but that looked quite cool.
Uh-oh. Was this supposed to happen?
No. Broke it. You killed
Oh, no,
Starcy.
it's okay. Oh, I guess they just release you. Whoa. All right. Oh, our camp. Why? Oh, I know.
Oh yeah, I gotta set
There.
that up.
There. Done. Sorry. My bad. Also, I'm David. Eric's not here, Sargareth.
You've even got the names right this week.
Look, I prepped.
Well done.
Thank you. I worked extra hard to make sure I got like the names right and shit. I know
you've done so good.
This is more than I usually do. Okay. Don't hate me.
Good. Yeah.
Look, I don't have any skill with anything, but I really think at some point someone needs to like put together a video of these 5 dudes, possibly CIG, to spoof themselves. Need to have a video of these 5 dudes just spontaneously start dancing to like a pop band.
Yes.
Right? Like, I want to actually see
Do
this.
not
like
block kids.
Yeah. I like that. Citizen Con opens up, and it's this screen right here. And then the bass starts, and they start dancing. And then the lights start, and the music, and everybody's dancing. You know, I like it.
You know what meme I'm surprised hasn't actually been made in Star Citizen yet, now that you've said that?
What's that?
No one's done the Techno Viking meme in Star Citizen yet.
27 minutes. No. Where's my ship? There's my ship.
So, in semi-related news, what do you make of EVGA and the NVIDIA thing?
I've only been slightly following it. I'm happy because I'm not an EVGA person. I'm an ASUS man. I worry how much of this is a suit battle. I worry about, like, from what I heard, NVIDIA was like 80% of EVGA's business.
What? Well, yeah, but it didn't make up for most of their profits.
No, but what, like, how many people does this mean are going to be let go? If they're no longer
let go. Not as many as you might think. Because EVGA do motherboards, PSUs, sound cards, mice. They do a lot more than just GPUs. And the fucking profit margin on GPUs was getting more and more, less and less on. Yeah.
Well,
I
honestly,
kind of wonder if I wonder if this is what Nvidia wanted. To be honest with you, because they started manufacturing their own GPUs, so it's like you've literally made competition with your own partner.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Well, and I find it really interesting because I used to work. This is not open, is it? Oh, I need to turn this on. Crap, 1 second. Sorry. Completely forgot about it.
No one telling me slightly moving forward.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same as Sargareth. Well, Sargareth is read all the way, but I'm kind of thinking now I might have to get Sapphire G future, which means AMD. Obviously. Because I Asus cards are okay. Their support is fucking dire.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I just haven't had any problems with mine yet. So
yeah. I mean, most of the time you won't have any problems with an Asus thing, but the time that you do get a problem with an Asus thing, you fuck. Their fucking customer support is absolutely atrocious. I've not heard much about Gigabyte. I don't know much about MSI. I know that they exist, but no one's ever like, oh, I'm dedicated to buying this brand. Not that anyone ever should be like that, but yeah. What's left? I know Sapphire have got a great reputation, and I've got no problem getting an AMD GPU.
My problem is that Nvidia is better.
But that's not true. The AMD GPUs compared to the Nvidia on the high end, the AMDs actually had a lot more raw power, but they just don't have the support for patented ray tracing DLSS. Their FSR is comparable, but a lot of people don't like it, which is absolutely fair.
It's not as good.
But yeah.
It's interesting.
Asus, Sargareth have atrocious customer support.
Yeah, that is what I've heard, but I need to get back to Microtech.
The products
are great,
good, and you just gotta hope they don't break.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got an Asus Mobo, an Asus mouse.
To be honest, the whole thing really made me think of years ago I worked in a video game store for years, for like 5 years or something. I worked in a local it was called Microtech. It was like an EB Games, but we weren't assholes. And I worked there for years, and like our entire business was the illegal shit that our boss would do. Of like, he'd order movies for one of his other stores, and people would come in and sell him, like, basically he had a whole bunch of people come in and sell him stolen merchandise that he could then send back to the company that he bought the movies from, saying we never opened these movies, get the money back from those, and have the ones that he ordered on the shelf. Like, the sketchy stuff was unbelievable. Like, I was robbed at gunpoint actually once at the you know of Microtech, Niskavian? Oh, Microtech in this. It was Microplay. Microtech's horrible. I hate Microtech. Sorry, I need another beer. What was I saying? Yeah, I was robbed at gunpoint once while working, and they came in and were like, give us all your money, but also give us some games too, because we're robbers, but we're also gamers. So I emptied all of the Madden copies that weren't selling into a bag for them. Seriously, I did. Okay?
Malicious compliance.
Okay. Madden, NBA, Okay, here you go. Goodbye.
Fucking show you.
Yeah, but like his first, my boss's first thing when he found out was like, yeah, we had 18 Xboxes on the floor, and they took 10 of them. Right? Like he overclaimed to an it was all a huge scam. But part of the reason that he had to run all these scams to run the place was, how much is an Xbox? Like an Xbox is $399, right? Do you know what, like the MSRP is $399. Do you know what we pay to get one? $397. $397.
Okay.
It's a $2 like Xboxes like new games. There's literally like a $2 to $3 markup on new video game stuff. Like there's no markup on new. A company cannot survive if they're just selling new games. It's why like EB Games, all of their money comes from their used stuff, because they buy it super cheap and sell it at an actual profit. And that to me seems sort of like what EVGA are saying, of like, there's no point to us doing this because there's no profit in it. Like, it just doesn't exist. We did it at Microplay because like you'd have new stuff and you'd be like, yeah, bring us in 3 used games and get $30 off a new game, right? So that we get more used stuff. But it was all about used. I spent 5 years working there. Oh, is it looking bad out there, Shimmer?
I've never seen dark clouds. I've never seen dark clouds rolling in underneath dark clouds, and there's horrible thunderclaps that I thought was a jet taking off, and then there was a flash of lightning, and it was like, okay.
Do you need to go to a bunker? Do they
What's that gonna do? I'll just drown in the fucking bunker.
Yeah, it's fair. Stay safe, eh?
Typhoons, earthquakes, and snakes, oh my.
Japan's a scary place. Not as scary as Australia, but scary.
Very different ways.
I like this little ship. It's cute. The 135C. It's a cute little ship. I'm a fan. Looks very angry from the front. Almost like Hammerheady.
First thing I'll do is I'll go and save TTRPG book. Get them to higher ground.
Not... Sargarath, I approve of many ships. I approve of the smaller Origin ships. Up until they... The funny thing about the Origin ships is they actually get worse. The higher the number, the worse the ship is. Like, the 100 series might be my favorite Origin ships, then the 300s, then the 400, then... don't even get me started on the 890, but I love the Reclaimer. I love all of...
Aegis, Anvil, Crusader.
Crusader. All of Crusader's ships are phenomenal.
It is Crusader.
Yeah. All Crusader's ships are just...
Is it Crusader or is it Consolidated Outline?
No, Consolidated Outline is the Mustang.
Don't they do the Argos?
No, that's Argo. Argo Cargo. CNOU
like
is
the
Consolidated
Argo.
Outland. They do the Mustang and they do the base building ship. Yeah, the Pioneer. Argo does the Argo Cargo.
Such an adorable little ship. I love it.
It is. There are lots of ships I like. I hate all Drake ships, except for the Corsair. The Corsair is beautiful.
You don't
top
like
10.
the Oh Christ, the Kraken.
No, I hate the Kraken. Are you shaking over there, Shiver, or what? Is it an earthquake? So, are you having an earthquake in a typhoon?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Oh God.
Are you okay?
I'm not going to talk about natural disasters anymore because I'm just pushing it. Oh God! Look, it's raining money and attractive models.
Okay, yeah. Which one of these? Oh God, where's the bloody spaceport here? I hate not being able to find the spaceport. Is it that one? I also made a mistake and forgot. I need to plug in the track IR before I launch the game, or else it doesn't. Well, it doesn't track, which is unfortunate because I really like flying with the track IR. Okay, so I don't think it's that one. Where's the bloody spaceport? Is that it over there? Mazer. No. No! Oops, I am.
Ah!
What?
An afterquake from Ibaraki.
From what?
An afterquake in Ibaraki.
Why is my ship just rotating constantly? Okay, there it is. It stopped. Okay, I'd like to get... We've got a little bit of time. Okay, let me land.
Don't forget to contact ATC.
Oh, I did. We are less than a month away from CitizenCon. How exciting is that? Are you going to join me
Not
to
as
stream?
exciting as having an earthquake in a typhoon.
Yeah, that's fair. Are you going to join me to stream some of that day?
Depending on what times are and shit, and what the day is. Well, actually, I haven't looked what the day is.
It's the 8th of October.
In your time zone?
Yes, in my time zone.
Oh, that's 8th. A regular. Yeah, that's a regular relay station day then.
Yeah. But it would be earlier. Like I don't think it's at this time. It's much earlier. But we'll have to see when they publish the times. Either way, I'll be doing it.
We can do the After Dark stream. And you'll just be there with these huge bags under your eyes going, "He won't let me go to bed!"
Well, I'm doing the CitizenCon stream, and then I'm actually showing up the next day. The Astropub is doing a 24-hour charity stream, a post CitizenCon 24-hour charity stream. So I'm on for 2 of the 24 hours that's happening in.
I don't know how streamers do 24-hour streams. It's
no thanks. But I'll show up and do part of it.
Yeah. Mind you, people stream themselves asleep, so and people watch it, which is really creepy.
Some people like watching people sleep. It's a comfort thing.
It's a serial killer thing.
I want this. So, because we were talking, my entire time here has been waiting to do this, but because we were talking so much about the Reclaimer before the show, I really wanted to call up the Reclaimer and go look at it and see if we can figure out where things are going to happen in the salvaging.
Sagareth sleeps keeping one eye open on himself.
Gripping the pillow tight?
In his teeth.
Why are you opening? I gotta remember every time how absolutely massive this ship is.
They've done a really good job with the scale of things. I mean, they've done such a great job.
They have. It's insane. Wait, how get on over here? Here. I mean, there can't be someone aboard this already. I literally just called it. Right? I don't think those are supposed to be that black. Okay, I want to go to salvage processing.
Black.
Apparently they discovered in this last week a fish that is so black that it absorbs like 93% of light that touches it. Really? Why would someone do that? It's weird. Torch. There we go. So, I feel like something's gonna have to something must change here, because in the clips we were watching, like it feels like there's a thing here that the salvage crates get pooted out of, and then they're grabbing it and taking it here to the salvage lift, throwing them down, and then stacking them in here, right?
I mean, it looks like there's room for more salvage poops.
I mean, there's a lot of room in here to begin with, but then I don't know if this actually goes up.
Shorter than it did in the video.
It does. But so I guess the
they've always got to be tuning the metrics, I suppose, because obviously the Reclaimer came out before salvaging, so they've probably got to tune some of the metrics.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it looked like, I mean, those crates were reasonably large, and it looked like they could fit a couple crates. Like, there were 2 stacked on top of each other, and then I think this is going to have to get bigger. Is this elevator going to work?
Maybe your Reclaimer's just a bit cold at the moment.
Maybe. Okay, so that's salvage hold. Yeah, so I guess they're gonna be like some of the reclaimer is gonna be changing in 318 because there is nowhere for the salvage to come out right now in here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it goes into those little nooks.
Now you have to think though, like if you look at those things up on the ceiling, right? All these hooks and things, like these are things that you would use to grab cargo and move it along, right?
Hmm.
Like they look like
Although
tracks.
they're obsolete now that the tractor beam's in.
They are, but I mean that had to be the plan at one point. So
yeah.
But yeah, like there's all that room that we see down there, and then there's also all of this too, right? So there's a lot of room for salvage in here. And then if we go up to...
I just see potential for modules, you know, it's like your poop scoot there, another poop scoot there, some bay that works for the manual work of stripping stuff off, another one for subcomponents.
Yeah. My game is not having... It's not letting me go where I want to go.
Yeah, module equipment, hired AI, yeah.
Yeah. It won't let me go to the habitation deck. Or the salvage balcony. Or exit the ship. Oh wait, where's it going now? Okay, fine. Jeez. So if I go over here, I wanted to come here this way quickly. I feel like this window should be bigger. Tech deck. So this is where the drones are supposed to launch from, right? Now again, this is all ancient. Well, they launch from here, right? There's the doors there that they launch from. So, I mean, it looks like there's 4 slots for drones, and then the drones get pushed out of there onto here, and then this thing goes up and launches them out, right? So, and then, yeah, so this is the drone operator seat. So you sit in here, the drone goes up, it gets pushed out, it goes up, that whole room is pressurized, so it just opens up and they fly out. And you operate the drone from here, doing whatever it is the drones end up doing.
So would you have 2 people control 2 drones?
I think you'd probably have 2 people each controlling 1 drone there. And then I think, if I remember right, go to the bridge. Scanning. Oh, that's a remote turret. I don't know if you could control other ones from here. And also, there's still no indication about what this does.
Yeah, you could, Maisie. Absolutely, you absolutely could.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, it would still require some level of automation on the drone node. Just to, like, you know, I'll put it in this place here and I'll just let it do this task. And
yeah, and we don't know how the drones are going to work really yet, right? Or how much automation there will be. So there's a tractor beam operator seat. Those are 2 tractor beam operator seats, but I think that changed, right? Because it was in the videos we saw, they got into one of these seats to control the salvage beam, right? So they controlled the salvage beam from here. Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be questions about like how do they access all that cargo in the back, because there's no cargo door in the back. It can't all go through that one service elevator. That's a little ridiculous. So some, and then like, why are there two scanning turrets? What are these remote turrets?
Yeah, I
When
mean,
I know
the
there's
ship must be getting revamped with salvaging.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But so how do we open the dump truck? Oh, there's a dump truck. I don't know. Oh, and that goes down. Okay, that goes down from there. That's handy. I didn't know that. Turret access. What does this let you access? I don't even remember.
remote turrets are gun potential. Are the remote turrets guns?
I think some of them might be, but I don't know. And then there's like this one's an actual manual turret, I guess. I don't know where the claw operator is either. Okay, yeah. So these are two guns. Power on. These look fun. I mean, it does have some defenses. What are Galderines?
I don't know, but it sounds like a great enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no, but the drone... where is it? Size 5 repeaters. That's not bad. Size 5? Yeah, it's... There's a lot that we're going to have to see when the ship is actually flyable, how it's going to work, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the hard bit, well, that's not even the hard bit. It's designing, getting the ship in game anymore. So it's got that down to a T.
Yeah. Also, I hate this little elevator thing. I mean, I sort of get it, but if I'm in space, I don't want to have to take an elevator to the ground to get out of my ship. Because there is no ground. Yeah, so the remote turret panels probably run the remote turrets, but there's a lot of remote turrets, right? I mean, there's one right there. So swapping between those is going to be annoying. But then, will this whole thing here open? This whole
Eventually,
back?
Imagine so. If
right?
not, maybe it's... I'm going back to the modular idea. Maybe it is a modular thing that just drops out.
I mean, there has to be a way, because there's this... Why are you...
Yeah, I mean, the Noscarian's saying is a big dump truck door, but it doesn't work at the moment.
Yeah. It's just, there has to be a better way than this to get all that stuff out. Or to get... Oh, I just went through that thing. To get large... Like, you could fit several dozen Auroras in the butt end of a reclaimer. How do they get it? Another question, actually, like you can fit a lot in this room, but so here's actually a question that I wonder, because this might have to change. Thinking about it now, you're not going to take me to the you are taking me to the habitation deck. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, Reclaimer. Yeah, hopefully we can open the dump truck door and back up and meet the Aurora. But if we go all the way back to the front of the ship again. And down to the piloty place. We just watched several videos on how hull scraping works, right? It scrapes the hull, and it all just like it all comes up as like individual chunks of matter, right? You're not grabbing like plates of the hull. So this grinding room, is this useful for anything anymore? Because it's not for hull scraping. You don't need to grind up the hull scraped bits.
I don't know. It depends on whether or not you fancy yourself as much of a grinder.
No, I did Tinder, not Grinder.
Oh.
And it might be Mazer, like it might be for ship frames after scraping components, but
yeah,
I don't know about you, but I don't see a way to get.
Just be for the really. Yeah, it could be for the shitty bits of ship that are basically worthless when you get it down to a skeletal frame, and you just like dump that in, churn it out, poop it out into something at least salvage.
Right, but none of this opens.
Yet. Or it could just be that if you're feeling particularly lazy and you're just like, you know what, I'm going to use a claw, I'm going to grab this whole fucking ship and just boom, whatever comes out the other end.
Like that up there, that's piping. So it's not going to open upwards. And the bottom is grinders. It's not going to open downwards. Like this center, this whole center thing, which is giant, doesn't open and doesn't work. So what is this for? Or is this going to be replaced by something?
I know what it is. And you're going to kick yourself as someone of Italian descent. It's a giant pasta maker so you can feed the space whales.
It's not that I'm not thinking outside the box. It's just I'm wondering how much of the Reclaimer, and this is exactly why they stopped making ships and releasing ships before the gameplay for the ship was done, right? Because will this be used? I don't know.
It better be. It's kind of iconic.
Well, but this isn't iconic. The claw is iconic. But
I've always thought the Reclaimer had grindy bits in it that was, for munching up ships.
Oh, come back.
Yeah, that's what I remember as well, Noscavian. It was the when you can't be bothered to just individually break down the ship, chuck the whole thing in, and it poops out whatever,
Yeah, I just want to know how it gets chucked in, because as far as I can tell, there's no way of opening this. It doesn't open. You can't put something in it. That up there, because we came down, we come down this elevator to get here. So above that is the habitation deck. Above that is the drone bay. And the bottom of it is... that's where the elevator is. Like, the elevator is in that far end. That's where the elevator is. And there's no door to that. Right?
Sides open, maybe? I don't know.
We don't have a transporter. That's half the problem. I don't know. It's... I'm really hoping...
No.
I'm really hoping that it does do something, and that it's not like a wasted area in the Reclaimer.
It's a large chunk of ship to just be unused.
It's a large chunk of ship. Right? And it's right there. So it definitely doesn't open sideways, right? Because I got in that elevator. So it's right there. It doesn't open sideways because that's the supporting struts for that. It doesn't open underneath because that's the crane. It doesn't get accessed from the top because the top is the habitation deck. That entire section of the ship cannot be accessed. But so the fat butt here. If we go back to the back, and I can show you this right now. Here's the elevator, right? The fat butt there is supposed to open fine, but then the elevator's in the way, so it can't get in from the back. It can't get in from the crane. Can't get in from the sides.
Bottom? Does maybe the bottom just opens up and you just sort of mount a ship?
I don't know. Like the crane is here all through the center of the ship.
Yeah, maybe the grinding room's just in the wrong place.
Like I don't think it can come in through there. That doesn't. Oops, sorry, right clicking. That doesn't really look like it opens up because that's where the arm comes in through. Like I don't think there's anywhere for the. And yeah, and it doesn't open there because again, support struts for the crane. That grinding room can't be used.
Maybe you're just supposed to sort of stand in the window and just chuck bits in.
But the problem with that, Niskavian, is we've asked about that, and CIG have said that there is no way to tractor beam or to transport something inside a ship. You have to do it manually. It's one of the complaints actually that I have with Star Citizen, in that you can't kill a ship and then just loot its components. You actually have to go out there and grab the components and manually bring them back to your ship. Tractor beams will not do it. So there's no way to access that huge, honestly, part of the ship. So I think, I don't know. We'll have to see if CIG have any comments on that at some point. We'll have to try and figure out what's going on. And yeah, they might have to significantly touch up the reclaimer, because above the cockpit, give me a second. Can you take me up? Hey, up. I want up. I'd like to go up. So the elevators in this ship just suck. Oh, there. No, I am down. Okay, going up. Okay, so if I go into the cockpit... Let's try this again, shall we? I need to turn off NoClip. Is apparently the problem. Okay, so let's try this again. I'll go, I'll sit in, I'll enter camera, and so it can't go in through the top because, well, can't go in through the top because that's the, like, that right there is where the drones launch from. And it can't go in from above the cockpit because there's, one, not enough room, and two, the turret's there. It doesn't go in from the sides. It can't go in from the back because the elevator's there. And it can't go in through underneath because that's the crane. So that portion of the ship, as far as we can tell, is impossible to do anything about. To access.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. Well, I when 318 comes out, that'll be probably the first thing I check is what has changed in it. There is the door above the cockpit. I don't. you saying that's a door? I don't know if that's a door. It could be a door. This is finicky. If that is a door, like, I don't even know if would an Aurora fit in that? It's not a very big door.
You're not a very big door.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Huh. It does look like it could open. I question if that little door has enough room for like all of that. You know, it just seems weird. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens with the ship and how that's used. But even if it does go through that little door to be used, the question still remains of, okay, so what can you actually like fully scrape with that if that little entrance there is the door? Because
I'm most disappointed that you didn't get to do the most Canadian Italian thing you could have done and said, "That's a door, eh?
That's a door, eh?" When the salvage it is nigh, and there's no way to fly, that's a door, eh?
Okay, that's quite impressive.
When the door does not work and you feel like a jerk, that's a door.
That's all we've got time for in this week's Relay Station.
Thank you all so much for coming and watching and putting up with whatever the hell we are. Shiver, what do you got going on this week aside from surviving an earthquake, typhoon, monsoon?
I don't know. The
tornado.
I've got a plus side if I don't survive. At least I don't have to do as much writing.
It's true.
This week it's Vampire Masquerade on Friday in your Western time zone. Over on twitch.tv/Table of Horrors, we continue on with our Vampire Masquerade V5 game set in Japan. The Coterie are starting off this week with a haunted house.
Nice. I like haunted houses. So
yeah,
Snake Foonquake, yeah. What we have is come back Tuesday. We'll probably be playing some more Star Citizen. I'll try and remember to turn on the Toby this time because it's really cool. And then come back next Saturday for more of this. And then Tuesday. And then Saturday. And Tuesday. And then, you know, that's it. That's all we got. Thank you all so much for watching us. We love you all. Stay safe. Don't get attacked by a flying snake in a typhoon.
Thank you, Sagareth.
Sagareth.